Hello everyone, welcome back to Concept Bytes. I am Nitish with your regular dose of data science concepts. In this video, I'll be going into the concept of missing and invalid value treatment and will be sharing some basic techniques for the same. We have already covered the process of data analysis and data cleaning at a very high level, and this video will build upon some of the concepts. Before going ahead, it would be great if you can subscribe to my channel if you haven't already and share it with people in your network who you think can benefit from such videos. Thank you so much. So as I told you, I have already covered an overview of data analysis and data cleaning. I will be attaching the links to those videos in the descriptions. Feel free to watch them if you haven't already, as they will give you the much needed precursor to this video. As usual, I'll be sharing and describing a toy dataset which we will be using throughout this video for the purpose of understanding the concept in a practical setting. So the dataset shared here is data regarding age, height and gender for a particular set of people in a population. Okay, so they are identified there by their identification number, and we have age, height and gender for them. Missing an invalid value implies are those values in the data which are missing or which cannot be called as valid values in their own right. Okay, so when we look at some values in the data which are not present where they should be, or they don't make sense, they are called missing or invalid values. In the dataset provided, in the first 10 observations, we see that there are 3 missing or invalid values. The first one in the 7th observation and the column age, we find that the value is completely missing as the field is blank. The second case is in the 3rd observation in the column height, where we see a negative value, which we know is not possible in a practical scenario, right? We know that the height of a person can never be negative. So this seems like an invalid value. And gender has a value NA, which is a common placeholder in Python or R for values that are non-applicable. There is something else called NaN, which means not a number. That is also a common placeholder for non-applicable numbers as well. Okay. You must be wondering that why do we need to learn techniques to impute missing values? Why can't we simply remove the complete rows which contain these missing values, as it seems like a very simple solution? Okay. So let's try doing that on this dataset and see what happens. So if we take the first 10 observations and if we apply this particular operation on the rows that contain missing values, we get the following output. And you can see that we have lost around 30% of the data that was originally provided to us. Intuitively, this does not seem right. Okay. Why? Because we are unnecessarily losing some useful data in other columns which could have been useful to us. Just because one of the values is invalid or missing, we are penalizing the whole row, and in the process losing out on some valuable data. So definitely we can do much better than that, right? So we should be able to do much better than that. Let's see what can we do. So if we can't remove it, we can replace that value, right? And keep the other values in the row intact. And what can we replace it with? A clever idea is to use some kind of aggregations of the data, right? So we can consider the column that we are trying to impute missing values on, and we can take some aggregations on that column and basically impute them. And what are the most common aggregations that we learn in basic statistics? Min, max, mean, median, and mode. These are the 5 most common types of aggregations that you will come across, right? So minimum, maximum, mean and median are generally required to numerical values. Mode is generally required or generally applicable for categorical values. Okay. So let us try to use the mean first. And so to start with, for the numerical columns, what we can do is we can impute the missing value in each column by the mean of the non-null or non-invalid values in that column. So for age, we will take the mean age of the complete population wherever it is populated, and in place of the missing values, impute the mean of the age. For gender, we take the mode because of the obvious reason that gender is a string value, it's not a numerical value, so we will need to take the mode. If you don't recall what mode is, it is simply the in a categorical variable, it's the category with the highest frequency. Okay. Cool. But the problem with using mean is that it is very sensitive to the outliers. So if I have some outliers in my data, outliers are extreme values in the data, then mean will have a tendency towards those outliers, right? When we take the average of those numbers. So we can do better by using a median instead of mean, right? So median has this advantage that it is a percentile value and not an average of the data. So it is not affected by the extreme values or outliers. Okay. So we come to the conclusion that using median for numerical variables is a better imputation technique than using the mean. And for categorical, we can keep the mode as is. So this is one of the most simplest and the most commonly used technique for missing value imputation that we generally use across the industry. Another very clever technique for missing value imputation is bucketing. Okay. The motive behind imputing missing values, or the objective behind imputing missing values, is generally to preserve the high level characteristics of the data. You want to impute the data in a way so that the basic characteristics and the distributions of the columns are maintained, right? And the overall data does not lose a lot of its integrity because of the imputation. So that is generally the motive behind it. Keeping that in mind, let's say if we want to impute the missing values in the age column, we can use the gender column to get even a better estimate. How? Let's try to understand. So for each value of gender, let's say for all females in the population, I calculate the mean age separately. And for all males in the population, I calculate the mean age separately. And then for the missing values in the age column, I look at the corresponding gender of that value and then impute that missing value with the mean age value obtained for that particular category. Okay, so just try to understand what is happening here. For all the males in the population, I got the mean age to be 32. Now I see here that in the 7th observation, the gender of this is male. So I impute this missing value by 32. If this was a female, I would have imputed this by 24. You can apply the same technique for height and you can get the similar type of imputations to impute your data with. Okay. And for categorical variables, it is recommended that you can continue using the mode, or you can also apply this for categorical variables as well. You can look at for different bands of age or height, what is the most frequently occurring gender, and then you can impute the data accordingly as well. Okay, that can be another very smart technique to impute the data. So till now, we are armed with two basic techniques, namely median imputation and bucketing, which can be used to handle missing values and invalid values in any kind of data. Of course, there are other techniques built on even more complicated statistical foundations, which can help you in missing value imputation. But in most of the simple use cases, I have seen these two techniques suffice in general. In one of my future videos, I will be going through some more advanced level techniques for missing value imputation, but to start off with, these two techniques should be more than enough. So with this, we come to the end of this video. Thank you for watching this, and I hope it was useful to you. Please share this with your friends and colleagues whom you think can make use from this video. And also, I look forward to your comments and feedback on this video itself. Thank you so much.